We have a major problem. I have all the details and what you need to know based on a new report that was just released today. Let's get right into it. All right, so first off, before we get into this very important report, I quickly want to talk about a new stimulus check on the state level. Now, this was just updated today, and I want to give you the latest details because this probably pertains to some of you right here in the community. Now, first off, if your state is not the state I'm going to mention here in just a second, stick with me because there are a lot of states out there right now who have either passed stimulus checks, they're in the process of passing stimulus checks, they've introduced stimulus checks, or they've talked about bringing stimulus checks to the table. There's a lot of states out there right now that have a ton of money on their books and they want to send it out in the form of stimulus checks. But if you've been watching the videos for any length of time now, you know that I'm watching this stuff very closely, and anytime that I get new details on money, benefits, programs, checks, stimulus, or anything else like this, I like to bring you the latest updates as I get it to keep you updated with everything going on. So let me quickly buzz through this and give you the latest updates that were just released today. And then, of course, we'll get into that very important report. All right, so this is the state of Indiana. The state of Indiana is considering a $225 stimulus check for about 4 million of their residents. Now, it's $225 per individual, up to $450 for a married couple. And like I said, this would reach about 4 million residents in the state of Indiana. So, just so that we're on the same page here, this has not been approved yet, but it sounds like this has a very high likelihood of becoming approved relatively soon. So, stay posted. I'll keep you updated as I do get more details from this state or any of the other states out there right now that literally have stimulus checks that have been announced, in the process of being approved, on the way of going out, all kinds of different things on many different states right now. All right, now let's quickly get into it and talk about this new report that was just released today and why we have a major problem on our hands, what they're currently doing about it, and the prognosis going forward as far as when will some of this actually be alleviated. All right, so let's get into this. This is in regards to the new inflation data that was just released earlier this morning. Now, I know that some of you here in the community think, who cares? We don't want to talk about this. This is impacting everybody right now. This is impacting everybody in a big way. Like literally everything that we buy these days, it is being impacted in a huge way. So let me talk you through the details about this. I'll also give you some remarks out of the president from earlier today, as well as what their plan is going forward to actually get in front of all this inflation and actually tame this thing down and what this may actually bring as a result of all this inflation. So the new CPI, otherwise known as Consumer Price Index number, was released earlier today. This number is released once per month. It's usually around the middle of the month for the prior month. So last month, the previous number came in at 8.3%. Not bad, which is actually down 0.2% over the previous month. So it seemed like we were possibly headed the other direction. Well, until we got today's report. Now the report is up at 8.6%. Is what the new inflation data is showing as of this report today. So it has gone up another 0.3% over last month, and this is the highest number that we've seen since December of 1981. Sorry, I almost said 2001. No, I'm off by 20 years. Sorry about that. December of 1981. So over 40 years ago was the last time that we saw inflation this high. We got a major problem here, okay? Let me talk you through some of the details because this is broken down into many different categories as far as where this inflation is coming in, and then again, what they're actually saying about all this inflation and their plan going forward with this. They got to get something done about this. This is nuts, right? So we've been solidly over 8% for, 3 or 4 months now? It's a bad deal, right? Yeah, okay. Anyway, let me go through this and talk you through some of the details as far as some of the categories, as far as how much inflation has gone up. I'll give you the month-over-month numbers, and then, of course, I'll give you the year-over-year numbers as well. These are some pretty big numbers here. So first off, energy. Energy is up 3.9% month-over-month or 34.6% year-over-year. That's energy. That's unbelievable. So if you're having a hard time paying some of your utility bills, no wonder why. It's up 34.6% over 1 year ago. That's nuts. Seriously, it's gone up by over a third in just 1 year. Yeah, that's crazy, right? Well, it gets even worse here. Check this out. Gasoline prices. Gas prices. I mean, obviously we know what gas is, right? It's up 7% over the last month, right? So month over month, it's up 7%. Year over year, 48.7%. Unbelievable. Seriously, I don't know what to say about this anymore. This is absolutely nuts. We should not be seeing price increases 48.7%. In fact, since January 20th, 2021, when the president was inaugurated or brought in to office, gas prices have actually doubled since then, right? So gas prices then were $2.39 as a national average, and we're now over $5 a gallon as of yesterday. Yeah, right? This is weird, right? I mean, seriously. All right, so it continues to go on, the report, and shows food prices as well. So food is also broken down into multiple different categories here. So let me kind of give you a little glimpse into what is going on with food, right? So get this, on a year-over-year basis, food is up 10.1%. But remember, this is an average. So some food items out there are up 14, 15, 20, 24, 30% across some items. And some items are up maybe 0.3%. It's all averaged out based on a basket of food items, right? You walk around the grocery store, you fill up your cart, your basket, and that's kind of what it is. It's all averaged out. So it's not really a real good depiction of what is actually going on with inflation. It's all averaged. Well, we want to see kind of the whole across the board. Well, I have some of those numbers for you right here as well. Let's talk about this. So this past month, the highest inflationary items in the grocery store happen to be dairy items, which is kind of interesting. Not really sure why that is, but dairy items and the like type dairy items. I'm not really sure what that means, but I'm guessing like milk and cottage cheese and sour cream and I don't know. What else is dairy stuff? You know what I'm talking about, right? I'm not the best person to give you examples of dairy items. You know what I'm talking about. Cheese is dairy, right? Yeah. So anyway, it was up 2.9% month over month. Again, that's a lot, right? 2.9% month over month. That means if you would have bought a block of cheese a month ago, you would have paid essentially 3% less. Right? I mean, seriously, we could be buying food. We could be buying blocks of cheese today and sell them in a month from now with a 3% profit. Not bad, right? Who wants to be a cheese trader? I mean, seriously, right? I mean, we could be buying anything these days and selling it in a month from now with taking in some big profits. I mean, right? This is nuts, right? So anyway, some other big ticket items also that went on this month, meats, fish, poultry, eggs, these types of items like animal type products were up once again 1.2% month over month. Now this is typically the category that is up significantly. Yes, it's up 1.2% month over month, but generally meats, poultry, fish, eggs, stuff like this is usually these types of items that are up 15, 20, 25, 30%, things like this. So as a whole, these meat products, things like this, are up significantly year over year. But again, it all comes into that 10.1% averaged out over the course of the last year. But anyway, now let's quickly talk about some of the remarks out of the president today. So the president was out earlier today talking about all this inflation, and he said once again, inflation is his top priority. That's nice. It's nice to hear that this is his top priority, but let me ask you this much. What has he done? I mean, seriously, if you've been watching the videos for any length of time, I don't take political sides, but I think all of us are getting to the point now where we're getting a little bit frustrated. The president has come out literally for the last 5 or however many months saying, inflation is my top priority. Okay, what are you doing about it? Because clearly nothing is changing. Like, what are they doing about it? The president has indicated that he wants to lower prescription prices, and this is going to be impactful for most families. Okay, that's great, but what about the groceries? We don't eat pills, I'm sorry. Well, okay, to be fair, we do digest pills. I mean, yes, we do take pills, but I mean, we cannot live on medications from the pharmacy, right? We can't go there and take like a whole diet from medications. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, okay, yes, lowering prescription prices would be great, but at the end of the day, we don't sit down for 3 meals of pills a day, right? So my point is we can't consume these things as a meal. So what are we doing about gas prices? What are we doing about shelter prices? Which, by the way, this was another item on the list as well as far as inflation. Shelter is up 5.5% year over year. That's what they're telling us. But I think we all can probably understand shelter is up significantly more than 5.5% because I see it down in the comments section. I see tons of you reaching out saying, my rent is going up again. Yeah, so anyway, that was one of the items on the list as well. And it was up 0.6% month over month. But anyway, the president was out talking about how this is his top priority. And I think a lot of us are at this point wondering, what are you doing about it? You keep saying it's your top priority, but what are you doing? What are the action steps? Like we all say, talk is cheap, right? Yeah, exactly. Talk is very cheap. But at the end of the day, what is the action that is being done right now, right? So then when it comes down to food prices and energy prices, once again, of course, President Biden pointed the finger at Putin and said it's all his fault. Really? I mean, seriously? Let's be real with ourselves here, okay? Again, I am not here to take political sides. I'm not here to bash anybody, but I'm simply saying, dude, get a grip on yourself. He's the president. It's President Biden. He has control of this stuff, and he's pointing the finger at other people. I mean, seriously. He's the president. He has full control of this stuff. He has the ability, and he's blaming it on other people, saying it's somebody else's fault. Really? The president, like the most powerful person in the world, the United States president, can't even figure out inflation? You got to be kidding me. Seriously. I think I'm speaking for all of us right now when we're just getting a little bit frustrated. And again, I don't care who the president is. It could be a Republican. It could be an independent. It could be Biden. I don't really care. All I'm simply saying is do something about it. People are struggling right now. People need relief. People need real answers and action, not just a bunch of talking points to make himself look good and to blame somebody else for all this is that is going on right now. So anyway, super frustrating because all this stuff continues to go up. I mean, literally, a couple days ago, I was joking saying you literally could have bought a gallon of gas a couple days ago and sold it for a profit a couple days later. You literally could still do that. You could go out and buy gas now, today, and you could sell it in a week from now for probably a 50 cent per gallon profit. I mean, seriously, it's nuts. All this stuff, food, gas, all this. We should not be dealing with this situation right now. So, anyway, a major problem that are going on right now, which, by the way, let me tell you what's being mentioned out there right now as far as what the very influential people are saying about all this inflation. They're basically saying the worst is yet to come. Yeah, some big bank CEOs, some big, highly influential people out there are simply saying the inflation that we're seeing right now, this isn't even the worst of it. The worst is yet to come. The big tidal wave, the big massive wave of inflation is still coming. I can't even imagine what that's going to be. I mean, are we going to be double-digit inflation? Well, at the current rate that we're going here, it looks like we're probably going to be. You're right? So, we got potentially a pretty ugly situation coming ahead. As I've been saying for a very long time now, I've been saying this for probably a month and a half, maybe coming on 2 months now. I've been saying if there's any possibility, and don't get me wrong, I know that money is very tight right now, so please don't get me wrong. But here's the thing. If there's any chance when you're out at the grocery store, if you can pick up an extra little box or two of pasta, a loaf of bread that you can throw in your freezer, things that are not going to go bad sitting on your pantry shelf for a month or 2 months or 3 months, something like this. If there's any possibility, you can start picking up a few items here and there. I know the prices are high now, but according to what we're seeing, they're going to continue moving significantly higher. If you can start picking up a few extra things here and there, I know money's very tight, but just a few extra things now and then, a box of pasta here, a couple canned items here and there, a loaf of bread to throw in the freezer today, you know what I mean? Stuff like this that you can put away and come back to in 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, something like this, and it'll still be totally fine. You might want to consider doing it. Again, I get it. It's a tough time. I'm trying to help strategize through this. I'm trying to help you out in any way that I can with all the foresight and all the information that I'm coming across each and every day with all these reports and everything. I just want to keep you posted, and I want to do what I can to help you out during this time. So anyway, there's a major report, some major issues going on right now, and it seems that nobody has a clue on what to do to get ahead of this. It's scary. It's scary that the leaders... Again, this is not at Biden. It's everybody. It's the Treasury Secretary. It's the the chairman of the Federal Reserve. It's everybody. They all have a hand in this, and it seems that they're not doing anything about it, at least in a speed that's necessary to actually get a handle on this. I don't know. Unbelievable, right? So who would have thought that we'd be dealing with this today after all these years when things were normal for so many years prior to 2020, and here we are, mid-2022, and it's like... The apocalypse. I mean, seriously, this is unbelievable, right? I mean, what next? Are aliens going to fall out of the sky or something? I wouldn't be shocked at this point. Nothing surprises me anymore, right? Anyway, I know I've said this a couple times, but again, I do not take sides in my videos. I think I'm just speaking for the vast majority of us. We're just frustrated. We're sick of it. We're sick of all these prices going up, and we're sick of not getting a financial relief in any way, shape, or form. Here's the thing. If inflation was running hot right now and they were sending out checks to us every single month in the amount of $250 or $300 or $500 a month, I think all of us would be thinking, the prices increases are, it's kind of unfortunate, but at the end of the day, if they're sending us checks every single month to get it beyond this stuff, I think a lot of us would have a much different opinion on this stuff going on, right? But it's kind of hard when many of you here in the community are living on a fixed income and nothing is happening for us as far as financial assistance, but yet at the same time, prices are getting higher and higher. It's not a good equation, right? So anyway, yeah. Wow, I'm here for you in any way that I can be. Please make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. Share the video with your friends, family, social media, and go back and check out some of the other thousands of videos here on the channel. I will continue to be here for you in any way that I can. I will continue to advocate for you, and I will continue to do all the research that I possibly can each and every day, finding any money, benefits, programs, checks, stimulus, anything else I can possibly help you out get right now. That's my dedication. So again, thanks so much for joining me, and yeah, stick with me. I'm here for you. Anyway, enjoy your day. I'll catch you again later in the next video.